Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss the scientific management theory given by the F.W. Taylor and then understand whether it is useful in educational management also or not. So, Frederick Taylor was associated with scientific management, and this scientific management it came in early 1900s, and the basic purpose behind this was how to improve manufacturing productivity. So they wanted to increase the productivity कि कैसे जो है productivity को बढ़ाया जाए by using the human resources, how we can optimally utilize the human resources. And they felt that these human resources are not giving their best, they are wasting their time. So Frederick Taylor thought that he should come out with some kind of strategy wherein he can increase the productivity by increasing the efficiency of the human resource. And he became the most prominent person in during the time of 1856 to 1915, and he was also known as the father of scientific management, and he developed the scientific approach to management. So he had technical experience in the industry, and Taylor noticed that workers were made the in charge of planning and performing their jobs. So even the planning was done by the worker, and the job was also to be performed by the workers. So Taylor felt that this leads to wastage of time and inefficiency, and he thought that much of the higher productivity was possible, and that there should be a reasonable effort by the work, because they thought that because they are the ones who are planning, उन्हीं को plan करना है, उन्हीं को काम करना है, तो they always used to keep lesser the target, and they were not giving the best effort. So he thought that this is going to lead the or reduce the productivity of the human resources, and they are not giving the best. So he wanted to redesign the job in such a way that he wanted to increase the production of the company. So he observed that many workers simply worked and produced less the output. Instead of producing more, they were producing less because they were fearing that they might overwork themselves out of job. So if they will like within the group also, they used to give the minimum of the work. Like if there is a group और कोई एक व्यक्ति अगर बहुत ज़्यादा काम कर देता है, तो उनको ये डर लगता है कि अभी जो है देयर विल बी प्रेशर ऑन द अदर वर्कर्स ऑल्सो. सो दे नेवर अलाउड द पीपल टू वर्क. सब लोग जो है मिल के एक मिनिमम अमाउंट ही प्रोड्यूस करते थे, सो दैट देर इज नो प्रेशर, एंड एवरीबडी यूज टू कंफर्टेबली वर्क. And this led to Taylor that he needs to think over it and see to it that he is going to increase the productivity. So he thought, Frederick was of the opinion that management is a true science, and this is based upon certain laws, principles and rules. And he also thought that management comprises of various principles, and these principles you can apply both to the private organization as well as the government organization. So the main object of management according to F.W. Taylor was to secure the maximum prosperity for the employer coupled with the maximum prosperity for each employee. So Frederick here was not thinking only of the productivity, but he also thought that he should come out with something which is giving prosperity for the worker also, and which is also giving prosperity for the employee also. So his philosophy of scientific management is that there is no inherent conflict in the interest of the employers, workers and consumers. So Frederick did not wanted to bring any conflict between the employers and employees, and he thought, let us come out with something which will have the harmony between both the employers and the employees. So he was also of the opinion that the workers should be given high targets. If you will not give them high targets, then what will happen is they will not work to their optimum. So he was of the opinion that the workers should be given high targets so that they can stretch themselves to the maximum capacity. So he wanted that whatever is the potential, each employee should work as per the maximum potential of that person. So his primary concern of Taylor was that the results of higher productivity should equally benefit all the people. Like it should also benefit the employees, it should also benefit the employer, and also the consumers. So, wherein consumers, in the sense that when you are increasing the production, definitely you are also working toward decreasing the cost of production. And once the cost of production is decreased, this is going to lead to lower prices. So this is the we are talking about during the time when the industrial revolution has just taken place. So people were moving towards machines to increase the mass production. So mass production was the focus during this period. So they wanted to increase the productivity. Fine. So if you are having mass production, if you are increasing the production, then definitely the cost of production will reduce, and once the cost of production will reduce, the price of the product will also be reduced. So in this way, when you are increasing the productivity, it will benefit everybody. It will benefit the workers, it will benefit the employers, it will benefit the consumers also. So Taylor observed that management neglected its functions, because as we have seen, the Taylor had seen that it was the worker only who was planning the work, and he was the only one who was doing the work. So these managers were not doing anything. So Frederick Taylor felt that management is shifting their burden on the labor, and they are not doing their responsibility. So as a manager, they also have certain tasks to play, but they were shirking from their responsibility, and they have left everything to these workers, and hence workers had also devised their own strategy, and they were not coming out with the maximum productivity. So he advised that management should take the responsibility. So he said that at least your job is to plan, your job is to organize, and let these workers do. But you also take the responsibility of determining the standards of the plan of the work, that what should be the standards, how you are going to control, how you are going to devise the incentive schemes. So all these things, Taylor said that even the management should now work. They should not leave their work on the laborers, and they should come out with. So if we see the principles of scientific management, then these are the broad principles. So the first principle which talks about is the development of true science. So true science is here science is viewed as an organized knowledge. Fine. So this is an or so he thought that the working is also can be mechanized. You can also apply a science to it, and he thought, let us first decide what is a fair day's work. Fair day's work मतलब एक दिन में कितना काम हो सकता है. So he thought, let us first decide कि how much work in a day can be done, and then how will you decide this? So you will see the working of the workers over a period of time, and then you will design a mechanism, and then you will say okay, एक दिन के अंदर इतना production तो होना ही चाहिए, like 50 units can be produced. So what will happen is, when you are deciding the fair day's work, there is no criticism. Like अगर आपने बोल दिया कि आपको जो है एक दिन में 5 पीरियड लेने ही हैं, fine. So now everybody is taking 5 periods, so there is no criticism from anybody, and even there will be no smart person who is coming out and saying, oh, I took the 6 classes. No, you are supposed to take 5 periods only. Fine. So earlier what used to happen, that there used to be people, like some are producing 10 units. There are certain people who are producing 30 units. Now these people who are producing 10 units will go after these people who are producing 30 units, that why are you producing 30 units, and if you are doing 30, that means the management will also expect me to produce those 30 units. So you bring down your production, and then in that case there will be a fight amongst these people. तो हम देखते हैं कई बार कुछ लोग होते हैं चमचे जो जानबूझ के एक्स्ट्रा काम करते हैं, और हमको लगता है कि अगर ये एक्स्ट्रा काम करेगा तो वी विल बी लुक डाउन अपॉन, एंड द मैनेजमेंट विल ऑल्सो एक्सपेक्ट दैट वी शुड ऑल्सो डू दैट मैक्सिमम वर्क. तो इससे क्या हुआ कि दे थॉट दैट लेट अस फाइंड आउट द फेयर डेज वर्क, कि इतना तो आपको करना ही है. सो नाउ देर इज नो क्रिटिसिज्म, बिकॉज दिस इज द एक्सपेक्टेड थिंग. सो दे फाउंड आउट कि कितना मैक्सिमम वर्क होना चाहिए, और इसके लिए जो है एक साइंटिफिक इन्वेस्टिगेशन शुरू किया गया, एंड दे ट्राइड टू फाइंड आउट दैट व्हाट इज अ फेयर डेज वर्क. So they collected the information about workers' past working style, about their present working methods, and then they classified, tabulated, and reduced into rules and laws, and they came out with what is known as one best way of working. So they have seen that एक ही काम को अलग अलग तरीके से किया जाता है, और इस तरीके से अगर हम काम करते हैं तो प्रोडक्शन इतना इतना होता है. सो दे फाउंड आउट कि व्हाट इज़ द बेस्ट वे, कौन सा एक सही तरीका है that is going to lead to the best production. So in this way the true science wherein they decided कि एक दिन में एक वर्कर को कितना काम करना है, and what are the best steps which one is going to follow. तो एक जो है बेस्ट वे भी डिसाइड किया गया, तो जहाँ पे जो है टाइम स्टडी प्रिंसिपल यूज़ किया गया, कि टाइम स्टडी किया गया कि कितना टाइम एक पर्सन लिया जाता है, एंड देन दे डिसाइडेड, जब उसको जो है दे एस्टेब्लिश्ड दैट इतना टाइम के अंदर इतना काम हो जाना चाहिए. सो दे यूज सर्टन टेक्निक्स एंड दे डेवलप दिस काइंड ऑफ ट्रू साइंस ऑफ वर्क. द सेकेंड वन वॉज साइंटिफिक सिलेक्शन ऑफ वर्कमैन. Now, as per the qualification of the people, the task was analyzed. Fine. So now you wanted to ensure the effective performance of the work, which was developed through the scientific investigation. आपने एक scientific तरीके से एक per day work का तरीका निकाला. Now you wanted that these workers should be working accordingly. So now you will select only those people, those workers who possess the necessary physical and intellectual qualities. Fine. So आपको जो है उनसे काम करवाना है, तो you select the employees accordingly who can do the task. Study the aptitude, nature and performance of workers, and finding out possibilities and limitations one has for future development. You study them कि किस उनके अंदर क्या क्या problems हैं, what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses, and then you have to see to it. Now here Frederick also believed that each worker has potentialities. Fine. And these potentialities can be developed further. So he also in his study said that now you identify the potentialities of each worker, and these potentialities should be now trained or developed to the best maximum. उसको उस हद तक उसको develop करो that we can get the maximum output from that person. So train him from time to time. जब भी ऐसा लगे कि वो अपने potentiality से कम काम कर रहा है, he has the potentials but he is not working to the best of his potentials, so you go and you train them. So he said that they should be systematically and thoroughly trained. So this was the next step. So first was identify the per day task, that is apply the science to the work, and then you train the people that they are giving the maximum of their potentials, and if they and their potentials should be developed accordingly. Next was scientific education and development of workmen. Fine. Now the scientific, what is the best situation in which the person work. Now you do not want that the person should go back to old ways of working. You have identified the best way of working कि इस तरीके से अगर हम काम करेंगे तो this is going to increase the productivity. Now it might so happen that after some time the people goes back to their old ways of working. So that should not happen. Now you want that the workers do not slip back to the old ways of working. So what will you do now? So you need to inspire the worker. So, and the basic assumption which Frederick has was that the workers are always willing to cooperate with the management, but the only opposition is from the management. So this is what the Frederick observed, that the opposition will always come from the management, but the people who are the workers, they are the one who want to cooperate with you. So he felt that now it is the exclusive responsibility of the management, because workers are ready to cooperate. So it is the responsibility of the management to see to it that they are not slipping back to their original working style and they are giving their best. Division of work and responsibility. Sorry, in this slide it is decision, but the correct word is division. Division of work and responsibility. So Taylor now believed that everybody should be given equal responsibility. Till now the management was not working. Management was enjoying and everything was left to the workers. But here the Taylor thought that management also should give their best. So Taylor assumes that all should be given equal responsibility. The management should also work. They should also take up the responsibility. So now here in the scientific management theory, the manager is also now seen the equally busy as the worker. So he is also given the responsibilities. So they are also having the equal responsibility. So this division of work creates understanding and mutual dependence between them. So now there is nobody who is above. So they are working together. So because of this division of work, there is clarity that who is going to do what. And there was a mutual understanding between them. And this mutual dependence developed, because once the manager will decide the course of action, then only the workers will do. So they were mutually dependent upon each other. There will be constant and intimate cooperation between them. So now if both of them will not work in coordination, then they will not be able to finish the work. So this led to the constant and intimate cooperation between them, and because of this there was an elimination of conflicts and strikes. So we find that the strikes did not happen. There were less conflicts because now everybody is working. If earlier the management was not working, so they will feel that you are not working and there will be a quarrel. So here the Taylor has come out with a complete mental revolution on the part of management and labor. So he did not want it that there should be a quarrel over profits. He thought that both sides, that is management and the labor, should try to increase production. And by doing so, he believed that profits would rise to such an extent that labor and management would no longer have to fight over them. Fine. So basically, here the base was to increase the production. And if you are increasing the production, definitely the profits will rise. So once the profit will rise, that means everybody will have a share in the profit. Fine. So the management will also be benefited, and the workers will also be benefited because they will get incentives. So they instead of relying on traditional work methods, this scientific management theory came out with a new way method wherein the tasks वर ब्रोकन डाउन इनटू स्मॉलेस्ट कंपोनेंट्स. हर टास्क को ब्रेक किया गया. सपोज अगर आपको जो है एक चेयर बनानी है तो उसको आपने एक ब्रेक कर दिया कि देयर विल बी सर्टन पीपल जो कि पाँव बनाएंगे, एक जो है बेस बनाएगा, एक जो है वो बनाएगा. एंड दे फाउंड दैट अगर हम हर एक को एक स्पेशलाइजेशन दे देते हैं तो वो जल्दी काम हो जाता है. सो इन दिस वे दे फाउंड आउट द डिफरेंट वेज ऑफ वर्किंग and to how the productivity can be increased. So in this way, scientific management theory, if we see and if you want to summarize it, it is a science, not rule of thumb. Rule of thumb is ऐसे ही करना है. Fine, you are not applying any mind, but they came out with a science that scientifically they came out with a per day work कि एक दिन में कितना काम हो सकता है. Fine. So if we see, the entire focus was on productivity. Nobody thought about the condition of the employee. ये नहीं सोचा कि एम्प्लॉय को रेस्ट की भी ज़रूरत पड़ेगी. ये नहीं सोचा कि एम्प्लॉय अगर ऐसे मैकेनिकली काम करता रहेगा तो इट विल बी मोनोटोनस. दैट वाज नॉट एट ऑल थॉट ऑफ. सो द होल फोकस, इफ यू सी द इनिशियल थ्योरीज, दे वर मोर फोकस्ड ऑन द प्रोडक्टिविटी. फाइन. सो ज़्यादातर प्रोडक्शन बढ़ाने की बात हुई थी, बट द पर्सनल वेलबींग ऑफ द ह्यूमन बींग वॉज नॉट थॉट ऑफ. द सेकेंड पॉइंट विच वी कैन समराइज इज हार्मनी नॉट डिस्कॉर्ड. सो they were thinking about how harmoniously the management and the workers can work together. साथ में मिलके काम करते हैं. They will decide the policies, they will decide the rules, and this laborers will follow that. Cooperation and not individually. So everybody was thought of. Fine, कि cooperatively काम करना है. Management will also do their work, laborers will also do their work, and ultimately they are working also towards the benefit of the consumers, because if they will increase the productivity, definitely cost of production will reduce. If the cost of production is reduced, then the consumers will get the product at a lesser rate. Maximum output in place of restricted output. So here they wanted to maximize the productivity. Whatever is the potential, that should be optimally utilized. अगर आपकी क्षमता 20 यूनिट्स डेवलप करने की है तो आपको 20 यूनिट डेवलप करने, न कि रेस्ट्रिक्टेड आउटपुट. एज आई सेड कि अर्लियर क्या होता था कि द वर्कर्स वर गिवन द फ्रीडम. सो वर्कर्स क्या करेंगे, दे हैड द कैपेसिटी ऑफ डेवलपिंग 30 यूनिट्स, बट दे विल नॉट डेवलप 30 यूनिट्स, और वो एक बीच का जो है 15 यूनिट डेवलप करेंगे, एंड दे विल यूज दैट टाइम फॉर लीजर. बट हियर साइंटिफिक मैनेजमेंट थ्योरी दैट फोकस ऑन मैक्सिमम आउटपुट की जो भी आपका पोटेंशियल है, यू शुड बी गिविंग इट एज पर योर potentials. Now, if we have to see what are the criticism of this theory, so here we one of the criticism is reduces the worker to a machine. As I said, that the human aspect was not taken care of. Fatigue was not taken care of कि इंसान थकेगा, उसको रेस्ट चाहिए. That was not thought of. It was only how to optimize the work, how to optimize the productivity. That was the focus which was being made here. Creation of unemployment, because it is scientific management theory which came during the industrial revolution. So here they went for mass production and more of mechanization, more of machines were involved. So when the machines were introduced, it was thought at that point of time that it will lead to unemployment, because one machine will take the role of various people, and then the requirement of the manpower will be reduced. Speeding up of workers. So the maximum productivity was thought of. So it was decided that if they can, they should not waste time. Somewhere the scientific management thought of that wastage of time should not be there. कहीं पे भी वो समय की बर्बादी ना करें. सो स्पीडिंग अप ऑफ वर्कर्स कि आपको आपका काम फटाफट करना है. फाइन. सो दैट दे हैव टू गिव दैट काइंड ऑफ आउटपुट. लॉस ऑफ इनिशिएटिव. So the planning was done by the managers has thought of the work has to be done this way only, because they have not identified only कि कितने number of units produce करने हैं, they also identified what is the best way that will lead to maximum production. इस तरीके से काम करेंगे हम तो maximum production आएगा. So the steps were also given to the employer कि ये step का follow करोगे, step 1 के बाद step 2 करना है, step 2 के बाद 3 करना है, और इसी तरह से आपको काम करो. So there was loss of initiative. There was the employers who did not had any freedom that they can apply their mind. They have to do the task as per given by the managers. Exploitation of workers. So here this led to exploitation of workers, because they were exploited, that this is the maximum potential you have and you have to do accordingly. They were not allowed to take rest. That flexibility was not there. Because of this it led to overproduction. Mass production की बात किया आपने, you wanted to go for mass production, you also decided the maximum output. Fine. So there was overproduction. Now this overproduction also led to a problem, because if the production is high, definitely the prices will go down. So it led to the problem of recession. Mechanical in nature. So the work was very mechanical, because you have decided one of the way to work and everybody has to follow that work. वो एक mechanical हो गया था, and that led to creation of monotony also, because the task was broken down into bits and pieces. और एक ग्रुप जो है, अगर सपोज जैसे मैंने बताया चेयर बना रहा था, एक ग्रुप सिर्फ जो है 4 पाए ही बना रहा है, दूसरा ग्रुप जो है बेस ही बना रहा है, तीसरा जो है वो सबको जोड़ रहा है. सो दैट इज वेरी मोनोटोनी. So they did not find the work as interesting. So that led to monotony of the work. Developing one best way of work. So there can be various ways to do work, but then they come out with only one best way of work, as if there is no other way of working. So these were some of the criticisms. Now whether this educational management, whether this scientific management theory had some kind of implication in educational management. Now if you want to see the implication, the first thing is, which is not written here, one is you decide the work output. Like we have also scientifically come out with that a teacher should give 14 hours of teaching. How we decided at 14 hours of teaching? Some kind of systematic study is being done. So that is also scientifically derived. So we are also following the scientific management theory, wherein we have come out with this, that a teacher has to give 14 hours of teaching. School teacher will be giving this many hours of teaching in a week. There should be 120 working days in an institution. So all this, scientifically we have come out with the number of working days. How many periods should be there? How many hours of a lecture should be there? How do we decide it? So we have come out with this kind of mechanism. So this is also one implication in educational management, wherein we follow this, and then managers should scientifically select and then train, teach and develop the workers. So another implication is that you select the best people and then you train them. So the training is very important. Fine. So so that they are giving their best thing, and that's why we have in-service teacher training, we have pre-service teacher training, and so that we are giving our maximum output, so that your entire potentials are being utilized. Applying the work equally between workers and managers, each one should be given the task. If in an institution you find that your head is not working, fine, he is sitting and he is always ordering, then it might so happen that the workers will also lose the interest, teachers will also lose the interest. So some kind of work should be distributed equally, that he has also certain, you must have seen the principals also take certain periods, maybe a lesser. Even the heads, they also go and take classes. Why do they do that? So that the work is equally distributed, and there is no kind of clash between the teachers and the authorities. So a harmony is being maintained. Develop a science to replace the old rule of thumb method. So there should not be a rule of thumb कि ऐसा ही करना है. Develop the things scientifically. So you can scientifically come out with various things, that how you want to teach, what are the different techniques. So scientifically evolve the different kinds of techniques. So according to this principle, to attain efficiency and effectiveness, management should take over all work for which they are better fitted, rather than have all the work to subordinates. So this is similar to that, that you should not give all the work to the workers, but you should also take the certain tasks on yourself. So you decide who is fit for what, and accordingly you divide the work, and proper incentives. So this was one of the important. So if you do not want that your staff goes back to the old style, then you have to keep on motivating them, you have to keep on giving them incentives. So give them proper incentives, so that they do not go back to the old ways, and they continue with the work style which you have developed. So here we have studied that how scientific management theory, F.W. Taylor, which came into place in 1900s, but still has some kind of applicability in today's time also. Fine. So this is, as I said, the whole focus was on increasing the productivity only, and later on we do find in the further theories, management theories which came out, where human angle was also taken into consideration, because here you see the human angle was not considered, it was only the production, how to exploit more and more work from the people, that was the only focus. So with this I end up, and you can watch my further videos on the different management theories. Thank you.